What's up everyone, ATCG here. We have another deck of the day, and today we're profiling Pendulum Magicians. A deck that got a little bit hit by the ban list, but it's still a very powerful deck. You just have to adapt a little bit to be able to face the meta. But it's a very good matchup against Thunder Dragon since the deck doesn't search that much, and it has a lot of non-destructive removal, so that's good too. So let's start with the deck. For the main deck, we're playing 3 Harmonizing. She's the best card in the deck because she gets out any monster from your deck, and she's a level 4 tuner, so you can pretty much do any kind of plays, Exceed, Synchro, or Fusion if you want with her. 3 Wisdom Eye. He becomes any scale you want, a high or a low scale, and he's another level 4 Magician. 2 of Dragon. This card serves multiple purposes in the deck. Its best use is in the scale because you can get a +1 every turn from your extra deck. But it's a level 6 monster, so you can get Norito with it, and late game if you Pendulum summon it, you can get back a Magician from your graveyard in case you're running lower resources. 2 Xiangye. Before I felt like this card was not necessary at 2, but right now it's just good on its own because it negates Assault, which is pretty much another way to counter Goki. And it's a level 7, which gets you out Absolute, so you can go into Vortex and you can get this out from your deck with Harmonizing, so you want to run 2 in case you banish the one with Desires. And 1 Black Fun, 1 Purple Poison. These cards don't serve any purpose other than being a high scale and low scale. Their effects are not that bad, but it's not something that you would want to have multiples in your deck. And for the cards that will turbo out Electromite, 3 Chronograph, and Time Gazer, pretty standard. Same thing with the Mythical Beasts. We have 3 Servers, 2 Jackal. Jackal is pretty much another negate you can have very easily in your deck because you can use your spells if you have them. If they're not necessary for the combo, you can use them after you've Pendulum summoned Jackal, so you can have counters so you don't rely on your opponent to activate a spell, nor for this card to have a negate. And this card is a really good out to Colossus because it banishes a monster, so you can use its monster effect first, banish a Colossus, and then proceed your plays to go for the Pendulum summon. 2 Dark Worm with 2-0. I don't like 3 because after you've used the first one, this card serves no purpose in your hand. Well, this card is good drawing because you can use it as a Pendulum scale, as it's 0, and it's a level 7 monster. This is a level 4, which is not the best right now, and it's a level 5, which prevents you from summoning the bigger monsters from your extra deck. 2 Curtain Raiser, another card that helps you get to Electromite faster. And I play an Odd Eyes Engine, a very small one, but I think it's very powerful because this card is another card that negates monsters from the extra deck to get rid of Colossus or Kagari, Shizuku, or Isolde. And you run Arc Pendulum because he's a high scale. Its effect is irrelevant because it special summons Odd Eyes from your deck, which you don't run many. But you just want to have it just to be able to search it. And you search them with Sky Iris. A very good card because it prevents your skills from being targeted. Many people run Storm Duster or Twisters, so this card will help you proceed your plays without any interruptions. 2 Pendulum Call. This card is very risky too, but if you have Dark Worm, that's the most optimal time to activate it because even if it gets asked, you will still be able to get a plus. With Colossus, this card is dead, but it's still mandatory to run in my opinion. Foolish with 2 Shrines to get to Dark Worm, standard. 2 Desires, not 3 because this deck is a deck that you need a lot of cards to be able to do an optimal board, so drawing 2 of these would not be very good. And 2 Call by the Grave. Before, with 3 Electromites, you didn't really have to run this card because even if it got Ogred, then you would simply find to get to a second Electromite. But now you have to rely on that one Electromite to go through in order to be able to do your full combo. The 1 Electromite. Right now the combo didn't change, you just have to think twice before using her first effect, because if she gets Ogred, then you pretty much have to either summon Landfall Incus if you can, or you will just have to end with a very small board. So that's why limiting her made the deck a little bit more vulnerable. Zephyr Metal Throne, obviously. Mermaid, because if they give you Ibly, you won't be able to Pendulum summon, and you want to summon this first before using your Battle Phase, because this deck can very easily ATK, so you need your Battle Phase. And 1 Warlord. Vortex, to get from Absolute, the best negate of the deck, and it's a non-targeting spin, so you can get around Colossus. Dark Rebellion, this card wins games by itself, like it becomes so much powerful and deals so much damage. Absolute, I run another card that makes this card's first effect very good, because you can attack with something weak, negate the attack, get back an odd dice from the graveyard, and then attack with this and get another monster on the field. So that's very good. Norito for another negate. Kind Gorgon, this is mainly to counter Sky Strikers because all their outs, Afterburners, Widow Anchor, all of them targets, so being able to redirect targeting is very important to be able to protect your negates. Tornado Dragon for Altergeist to Draco. Dweller, which is a very good card to make going first against Dangers and against Goki because they won't be able to do a lot of plays with. And Cowboy because you have a very loose extra deck, so if you want to have another option, this card can win you some games when you go to time because it's very easy to summon. And if you summon Kind Gorgon first, then you can protect this from getting targeted by Impermanence or Veiler, so you can make sure its effect goes through. One Clear Wing, a board wipe that negates battling and destroys your opponent's monster is very powerful to have in your deck. I think it's better than Ignister, because Ignister, not only does it take up your extra monster zone as a monster that doesn't do a lot since you're not running Lesser Pendulum, but it also requires you to pop a scale, while this card does everything on its own. And the last card is Meteor Burst. I don't see a lot of people playing this. I think this card is amazing, because you can special summon one of your scales to go for very good plays. You can summon Time Gazer from the scale to make another play if you have like Harmonizing, and it's very powerful to being able to bring it back with Absolute's effect, because the opponent won't be able to activate Ray from the graveyard, because during the battle phase your opponent cannot activate monster effects. So this card solves multiple purposes, and it's a level 7, which will usually end up as material for Absolute. So that's the deck. I still feel like this deck will always be viable just because of the way pendulums function. It's a very, very powerful mechanic. It will never die out unless this card gets banned and some other cards get hit, but that won't happen because the deck has taken it to the tier 2 sit. But it's still a very good deck. So that's the deck profile, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.